Hi everybody, welcome to the dungeon. My name is Robin and today is Lampworking 101.78. Today we're going to talk about iris orange, most commonly referred to as the Raku glass. And this is an amazing glass that when it is heated up properly, it can produce the most amazing prism of colors I've ever seen. I bought a small bag of this, one of those little 2-ounce bags of small frits, and it's not a 104 color, it is a 96 color. However, when you buy it in a small amount like this, it will work fine in the glass. If you've been having a hard time getting the colors to emerge out of this glass, then you're not alone. So I want to share with you guys my findings and how I was able to get these beautiful colors out of this iris orange Raku glass. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Thank you guys so much for joining me and watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you're all doing safe and well out there. We'll see you next time in the dungeon. All right, so depending on what kind of form you get the iris orange in, I guess is going to depend on how it will strike for you. And strike means to strike the color out of it. So what I have here is a small frit, which is all they had, so that's what I got. And I think it also comes in a powder and a slightly larger frit. So I want to make a thick stringer with the iris orange on the outside, and I'm going to use clear as my base. You could also use black, which is a really beautiful highlighting color for this glass. As you see, I will use it as the base color of my bead. But first, you want to go really gently into the frit. If you turn as you go into the frit, like you roll it, a patch on the bottom will start to emerge of whatever's underneath, like the plate part. Right there I had a little weird anomaly in the glass and had to get it out. Anyway, so what I want to do is I want to lift and press into the frit to build it up. And that's pretty much my best advice, is lift and press and then turn and press and turn and press, but lift instead of pushing the frit out of the way. And I get several layers of this. I think I got like 5 or 6 layers. I did make some that I really didn't get much effect out of, and I thought maybe part of the problem was I went on too thick with the color, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I just wouldn't get it too thick, and I have just taken off the glass from the bottom, and I want to either take that off or add more color. So I'm just going to add more color to the other side, and then I'll punty this up. And the heat right here is what I understood, or what got me to the colors. Before, I was heating this up and pulling it out like any regular stringer. But then I noticed when I heated this specific one up, all of the frit turned clear, and that is what you want to see happen. Like, I am getting this sucker hot. It's getting to the point where it's hard for me to keep the glass on the mandrels. That's how hot I'm getting it. And through the flame, I can see that the color has completely disappeared. And now you can see it in real time here. I'm kind of trying to keep it on center, but you can see that it is indeed clear. And that is what you are looking for. This made all the difference for me. So whether you're pulling it out as a stringer, I don't know if it works the same when you roll it up as frit. You have to get it screaming hot and get that color to disappear and then kind of, just settle down. And this is the stringer that I have. It's a kind of a translucent brownish color. If it's that tan color that you normally get, you didn't heat it up enough. Try it again. So let's start with the bead. Okay, I'm going to start with the black base. And, in a little bit of my research, I found that most people got beautiful effects on black. However, I have tried it on white. I have tried it on the ivory as well. And it does give you a dark gray border on the ivory. So if you just want the color to show up, don't use a background that has a reaction that might react to it. So black, at this point, I'll say if you're doing this for the first time, try black. Or red. I think red works really well too. Okay, so I'm just gonna make this a nice long, slightly tapered bead. And I'm just wanting to work on my ends and get a little extra in the middle here so I can even this all out into a barrel. But first I want to focus on my ends and get them looking nice. So I'll heat everything up and then I'll slowly, very slowly start to just roll one edge. And that is the right edge. And now I'm going to start to heat it up a little bit more and work a little bit in the middle and a little bit more, and I start to work the left side. And then when I have the right side looking nice and the left side looking nice, I'll, get in the middle a little bit and roll it out nice and slow and even every time. And while I'm doing this, I'm noticing that I think I want it to be a little bit more bulky in the center, so I'm going to add a little bit more glass. And because I like the way my ends look here, I will abstain from adding any glass close to the ends at this point and try to keep the heat away as well. Even though in the long run, the edges do tend to soften a bit, but they're not going to pull in real tight either. And I'm getting this into kind of a bicone shape, heating everything that I need to in the center and gently pushing it out and tapering it on both sides. Okay, so once I'm done with my shape, what I'm going to do is start to add the color on top. And I'm going to start out by getting a little bit of the bead warm where I want to stick the stringer to. And I will slowly start to heat up where the stringer and the bead are kind of going to meet. So what I'm not trying to heat the bead up, I'm trying to kind of like just skim the surface of the bead with my flame, but most of the flame is focused on the stringer itself. And I am just gently feeding it into, I'm not pulling it on or rolling it on, or how you make a your footprint bead. I am laying the cane on, so it's getting shorter and shorter and shorter in my hand, all the way to the very end. And if you don't make it, don't worry, just heat it up and stick it where you need to and keep rolling. And now once you're done, immediately, if you can, turn the flame up and get a really nice hot flame. I've heard both stories. It's got to be high oxygen. No, it's got to be high propane. So, somewhere in the middle. Anyway, every torch is handmade and they're different. And my torch has a different type of flame. It's a Hellcat by Carlisle. And my torch flame does not look like a lot of other torches do. It's kind of unique to this torch. But either way, I am heating this color up to try to keep that color looking transparent. And then once everything's nice and soft, I will immediately cool it down and just get it back into shape as quickly as possible. Okay, at this point, I'm just gonna let everything cool down a bit so I can add my clear on top. And you can already see a slight rainbow of colors appear in the glass. So at this point, if you are using the Raku color and you don't see these colors appear when you apply it and heat it up past transparent and let it cool down, then you need to get it hotter. It's all about that initial heat. Okay, so we're going to add clear, and when I add the clear, I always like to just get a nice big gather of glass hot on the end of my clear rod, and I do like to use a Fetri Super Clear. That's my favorite clear, and I'm just swiping it from the top to the bottom. And when I do my swipes, the glass from the rod stays in the flame while the bead travels under the flame. I hope that makes sense. So I have that nice clear glass on there, and let's go ahead and start shaping it up again. I wasn't quite sure how much I wanted to heat up the bead at this point. I kind of wanted to just heat the surface, really just heating that clear up and shaping it and getting that nice tapered effect on both ends. But I didn't want to overheat it because I was worried that the glass would, maybe go back to tan or something. But I will say this, it did not seem to affect the color after it did its initial striking in the flame. A little bit more shaping. I really like to take my time shaping the glass. And whatever it takes to get a nice high taper. If you can't hold the paddle physically in your hand, then maybe you can use a block of graphite like I'm doing to shape it with. Here at the very end, I just want to add some big, beautiful clear dots to kind of further enhance the color. And when I add these dots, I'll add just really nice, big, soft, hot drops of the clear. And that makes it a lot easier to heat in a little bit afterwards. And then I'll turn my mandrel around and do the same on the other side. I would love to hear your adventures with this iris orange, if you have any. I would love to know if this video helped you out at all, if you were having a hard time getting those colors to show up. Anyway, we're just about done with this beautiful little bead. We're going to add a few more dots on both sides, and then we will be done. All right, a few more to go, and we're going to give it a really quick reheat and put it away. I hope you guys enjoyed this demonstration and got some good information from it too. And if not, I just hope you enjoyed watching it. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time in the dungeon.